You are standing there, blood hot, jaw tight. Someone just spoke to you with contempt, as if your patience meant weakness. Every nerve says answer back. Every instinct says defend yourself. And for a moment, anger feels like strength. But before you speak, before you strike, before you become what provoked you, listen to two men who faced the same fire. Marcus Aurelius prepared every morning for the fool he would meet. He expected difficult people before the day even began. But 1,000 years before Marcus trained his mind against provocation, King David met his fool on a desert road and nearly killed him. One man trained himself before anger arrived. The other had to be stopped while anger was already moving. Different worlds, same test. Do not let a fool make you foolish. This is not a lesson in pretending anger does not exist. This is how to control anger when someone insults you, without becoming passive, bitter, or cruel. Stoic wisdom and biblical truth do not deny the fire. They teach you what must happen before the fire takes command. In Meditations Book 2, Marcus writes that when you wake in the morning, you should tell yourself what kind of people you are going to meet: the meddling, the ungrateful, the arrogant, the deceitful, the envious, and the unsocial. That sounds severe until you understand what he is doing. Marcus is not practicing hatred. He is practicing readiness. He is refusing to be emotionally ambushed by ordinary human weakness. If you expect every person to be fair, grateful, reasonable, and self-aware, then every insult feels like a personal emergency. But if you already know that wounded people often wound, selfish people often take, and foolish people often speak before they understand, their behavior loses some of its power to surprise you. For Marcus, anger is not proof of strength. It is often proof that someone else has taken the throne inside you. The angry man thinks he is taking control, but often he has handed control to the very person who offended him. Someone else speaks without discipline, and now your tongue follows theirs. Someone else becomes ugly in character, and now you are tempted to become ugly in response. This is why Stoic anger is not treated as harmless emotion. It is treated as a threat to inner command. The insult may last 5 seconds, but anger can make you carry it for 5 days, 5 months, or 5 years. The fool strikes once. Your reaction keeps striking. Marcus's answer is severe, but freeing. Do not become like the wrongdoer. That is the real revenge, not the perfect comeback, not the public humiliation, not the message that proves you were right. The victory is to remain governed by reason when another person has abandoned it, to meet arrogance without becoming arrogant, to meet contempt without becoming contemptuous, to meet foolishness without letting it reproduce itself inside you. Marcus understood this in the quiet discipline of the mind. David would learn it with a sword already near his hand, because sometimes you do not prepare. Sometimes the insult lands, the blood rises, the sword is already near, and your pride starts calling revenge justice. That is where King David enters the lesson, not as a man who never felt rage, but as a man who nearly obeyed it. In 1 Samuel 25, David and his men are in the wilderness. They have protected Nabal's shepherds and flocks during their time there. When a feast day comes, David sends men peacefully to ask for provision, a reasonable request in that world. But Nabal answers with contempt. His very name means fool, and he sneers at David as if David were nothing. David's response is immediate. Every man strap on his sword. This is not calm justice. This is wounded honor moving toward bloodshed. And this is one of anger's oldest tricks. It rarely says, "I want revenge." It says, "I am defending what is right." It says, "They cannot speak to me that way." It says, "Someone needs to teach him a lesson." But beneath the noble language, the soul may already be burning. David is not about to correct Nabal. He is about to destroy him, and everyone attached to his house. Then Abigail enters. Nabal's wife sees the danger clearly. She does not defend her husband's foolishness. She does not pretend the insult was harmless, but she steps into the path of David's anger with humility, provision, and wisdom. She reminds David of who he is called to be. She warns him that if he takes vengeance into his own hands, this moment will become a burden on his conscience. And David listens. That is the turning point. David's greatness in this story is not that he never became angry. He did. His greatness is that when wisdom confronted his anger, he did not silence it. He received it. He blessed Abigail because she kept him from blood guilt. Restraint, in that moment, was not weakness. It was rescue. Marcus and David stand on different roads, but they point toward the same command. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. You are not responsible for every insult that reaches you, but you are responsible for what it becomes inside you. Marcus teaches preparation before provocation. David shows correction during provocation. Marcus says, expect difficult people so they do not seize your mind by surprise. David shows, if anger has already seized you, let wisdom interrupt before you act. Same principle, different moment, same power. One protects the inner throne before the fool arrives. The other lays down the sword after the fool has spoken. Stoic reason and biblical truth meet here with unusual force. So when the fool arrives, do three things. First, name the trigger before it names you. Say plainly, this is insult, this is contempt, this is provocation. When you name it, you separate the event from your identity. Second, delay the sword. In Stoic terms, this is the space between impression and action. In David's story, it is the moment before the blade leaves its sheath. Same gap, different language, same wisdom. Do not send the message while your blood is hot. Do not make the decision while your pride is wounded. Do not confuse urgency with wisdom. Third, accept Abigail. Let a wise voice interrupt your first reaction. It may be scripture. It may be prayer. It may be a trusted friend. It may be the quiet discipline Marcus practiced before dawn. But let something higher than anger speak before you act. Because the fool may light the fire, but you decide whether your soul becomes the weapon. Which of these three steps is hardest for you right now? Naming the trigger, delaying the sword, or accepting Abigail? Share your experience in the comments. If this helped you, subscribe to the Principle Forge, where Stoic wisdom meets biblical truth. We're building a community dedicated to ancient principles for modern life: discipline, faith, wisdom, resilience, and character. New videos weekly. Step into the Forge.